Let me see those receipts, baby. I'm ready to clock into the bank factory.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ymir, and we are back with day 6 of the Fat Camp recap. And Jesus Christ, y'all. This one was different, I guess. Not good. They were still just outside at a table for the most part, and there was a lot of fuck shit that happened. Um, and I feel kind of bad because someone tried to ask me about it last night when I went live instead of watching all this. And they tried to ask me about, the Billy situation. And I completely did not see the hand on Glammy's NECK. I but I went back, reviewed the footage. I recorded like a clip of it, like going frame by frame, and it is bad. It looks like, I don't care how angry you are. Like, he already pulled her down with her shirt and had her go down on the couch. There was no need for the hand on the end. There just wasn't. Also, she's clearly on something, Glammy is. I was saying how in the last one she had this whole gangster act on, and I just thought she was drunk, but now I do fully believe that something else is going on. But anyway, I did just kind of want to address that because I felt bad that I didn't actually talk about it on when I was live last night. Anyway, we're gonna go back to the start of the show. Oh, and it was only Lolcow Live today or yesterday. There was no other shows, no Buzz, no Queens. There was Lolcow Jester after, I think. But yeah, so pretty much like everyone is here and they're just all on the couches where they were a lot of the time at the first Fat Camp. That's where they are. So they've got the doors behind the couches. Keem, opens the door, pokes his little gnome head out to, bark an order here and there, but that's where they are. That's where the majority of the content, quote unquote, takes place. And Glammy here, the subject of why is she so like did they bring her to Fat Camp just for her to be a cow? But I'm really kind of worried about something like actually going on with Glammy at this point. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Why does everyone like to okay. Everyone likes to act like Keem is such a good guy and he gives these people such good opportunities and yada yada. This does not seem good for people. This does not seem like a productive environment to actually rehabilitate anything or give anyone any redemption arc of anything. It does not, that's not happening here. But yeah, anyway, regardless, I don't believe the neck brace thing. I do not. Glammy's wearing the neck brace. She said that her neck is sprained and she went to the doctor. Yeah, really? Just from getting your fucking chain snatched off of it? No, fuck out of here. It's such an obvious lie, and this is exactly how you know it's a lie. Is because if it was true, Xylee would be so fucking gone. Xylee would be so fired. If they actually fired Wings for that incident last year, like, even though it wasn't to the point where someone needed a neck brace, like, Wings still got fired. So if Glammy actually needed a neck brace, Xylee would be fired. There's no sorry, like, it's fake. It's fucking fake. It's so stupid. 200, they say 200 members and they're gonna pimp out Turbo's scooter. Oh, Lisi's here. There was a running joke about Lisi stealing Tech's girlfriend, and she did walk across the like the porch carrying Sarah. So I did enjoy that. They do hit that goal, so they do start decorating the bike, but we're watching it at like a fucking distance. Like far away. Like the people who are decorating the bike have to yell at the people on the porch to communicate. And I'm just like, why are we not getting a close up to the shitty decorating that's happening? And why is there also like no goal for the audience to decide how the bike gets decorated? Right? But anyway, so they pan around. There's a whole fire pit, a field, there's a dock like into the lake. They could be doing fucking anything, dude. They could seriously be doing anything. But they're not. They're mostly just fucking sitting on the goddamn couch. Um, Billy, oh, looking in hindsight, this actually is kind of, mm, was this all planned? Because in hindsight, this is weird, because Billy says Glammy is only wearing the brace so people won't hit her. And during this whole, like, choke situation, Glammy was smiling the whole time, but then again, I feel like she's on something. And but she's smiling when before, when a fight was about to be broken up between her and somebody else, the look of pure fucking, like, anger and unhingedness, I'll show the screenshot now. It was insane. She was about to like, look at that photo and tell me that's not someone who is about to fucking crash, like, absolutely crash out in the worst way, right? So the fact that Glammy's sitting there smiling about the Billy situation, I'm just confused. I'm really confused. And again, this is what really fucking sucks about the fact that anything is scripted is it throws into question every single other thing. But yeah, in hindsight, that note is a little weird, a little weird. Anyway, and then I write, seriously, why are we watching the scooter decoration from like a mile away? I really am. I have no. Also, the thing is, I have like no fucking patience left for this show. I don't. I have pretty much no patience left at all because all I'm hearing from them as to why the show sucks is a bunch of really, really, really lame fucking excuses that they're not valid whatsoever because of the fact that there is like 20, 25 fucking people there who can help. But instead, we hear about the same handful of people doing all the goddamn work. So I don't know. Oh, but then apparently they are letting people donate to put a letter on the bike to spell something, but each donator only gets one letter. And I think it was for Reds. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was for Reds, this one singular letter. So then later on in the show, there was like 8 hours worth of show that day, but later on, they open up to have people donate just to put whatever name they want on the bike for 20s. So it's like, why the fuck is anyone supposed to donate for any goal ever when you're just gonna change the goalposts, literally? Like, you're just gonna move the goalposts later. And why would they donate at first when they know they can probably just wait and not donate? And you guys will change it and give them something better. Maybe. Or they maybe won't even donate then. Like, there was so many goals that they just did not fucking hit. It's bad. It's getting real bad. And I don't know why they're not doing anything about it, because this is gonna be a waste of 50 fucking K, I guess. Because at this point, I'm like not even sure about them breaking even. I don't know how much money each show is made day to day. Again, I don't look at the back end. I don't know, but it does not feel like enough to break even and pay everyone and have everyone make back the money they spent just to fucking get there. But anyway, they spray painted the scooter gold and they put stickers on it and they got it on the wheels and it does generally look fucking horrible. But Boogie's jealous of the scooter. He wants a scooter. It's all an act. He throws those little poppers or the snappets at people, like, harmless. Yeah, like Boogie sits down in the scooter and like tries to like run off, right? But Turbo literally has to come and tell him how to turn it on before he can steal it and run away. It was really fucking pathetic. Boogie threatens to put the scooter in the lake if he doesn't get his own. And I did write Turbo is actually up and walking around. It is genuinely nice to see if he was practically immobile before. Yeah, Boogie does kick the back of the scooter and he breaks like a piece of the like plastic off of it. But I'm honestly pretty sure that Keem and Turbo made a deal before all that to have Keem pay for the scooter just so they could do this. So I'm sure it's fine. But I said, yeah, but then my next note, but hey, let's fucking go. Finally, a few minutes of content, quote unquote, that isn't at the goddamn table. Standards are low. Oh, and then in terms of the donations for the single letters, right? They only got an FU on the side and an S on the front. That's it. That's it. And then when they opened it up to have whole names on there, they only got like 5 names, I want to say. And one of them was from fucking Boogie. So he's just donating to his own show. And then another thing that kind of bothered me about a lot of the show is I felt like Keem was the one doing most of the quote content. Like that wasn't just at the table, you know? Like Keem like takes his scooter and he drives over to the dock. Like he goes around in circles, like, oh, is he gonna go in the lake? I don't know. And he goes over to the dock and he gets right to the edge and puts the front wheel off so that it's just sitting there. And I'm just like, which, and I'm like trying to say like this was funny. I enjoyed this bit of the show. I thought this was funny because I genuinely did not know if he was gonna put that thing in the lake or not. Like paid for, not paid for, I didn't know. So I was like, he ended up with my little Long Island. But then it's just like, why is Keem the one, the only one being funny? Can someone else please do something? I thought Keem wasn't supposed to be like on the show like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, and you know what? Just keep this in mind. Tina and Gidgey are not there. They haven't fucking been there for a long time. They do not show up until way later. Way later. Okay, so just keep that in mind because it is relevant later for when they do actually fucking finally show up. But yeah, Fupa's not there either yet. Steak complains that it takes her forever to get ready. And that's I was kind of saying this last night in the live. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what the big goddamn deal is, girl. Like, the makeup is not good. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not good. It looks bad. It's really badly done. It's too much eyeliner, too much mascara, too much everything, really. And it just makes her look fucking ridiculous. And you know what? I dare say, I take it back. It's not even that it's too much eyeliner and mascara. It's just the application. It's just the application is ass, dude. It looks like just learned how to put eyeliner on. Like she just figured out that she could do that and she's going overboard with it and doesn't know like where to put it to make it look good. So yeah, I do kind of agree. It is also annoying like Fupa, get your ass out here. Why are you like an hour late? But then remember, regardless of that, she's still not as late as other people who want to complain about. Never mind. Anyway, so 100 members to get Boogie to jump in the lake is the next fucking goal. And I am so sick and fucking tired of this, dude. This is not content. This is not what anyone wants to see is people jumping in a fucking lake off of a dock. People do that all the time, every day, for fun, for free. They jump into lakes. They go swimming. They get hit with water balloons. It's just summertime activities, dude. Why the fuck are we having to do summertime activities for 100 members? 100 members at $5 a pop? Come on. Fuck off. But they do get this 100 members, and it's 250 gifteds, right? And I heavily suspect that these 250 gifteds for this first goal was just to kind of keep everything going, to kind of trick the audience into like, yeah, there's people here, they're donating, and we're having fun, and keep donating, y'all. Like, I do genuinely believe that there was some fishy shit with the first couple of goals, because after this, they meet 0 goals. After that, I'm pretty fucking sure they meet absolutely 0 goals for anything. They get like 0 fucking members. But anyway, Steak and Nightmare, they get Boogie shorts, his swim trunks, and they both get in them. And this is funny, and it makes them like fall over like backwards when they're trying to get out of them. And Xylee and Keem runs up to steal Steak's fake ass Yeezys. And I'm sorry, I don't know if they are. They just kind of look like that to me. So they steal them and they spray paint one of them and they want a donation to spray paint the other one at Steak's behest. Do they get it? No, they don't. No one cares. But yeah, Boogie jumps in the lake in his swim trunks and it's like, okay, great. Yay! Someone jumped in a fucking lake. Yay! I'm so entertained. Wow. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off. I think I said this in the live last night. I saw a Reddit post that literally listed a ton of shit that they could be doing there. Like fun stuff. And hide and seek was on there. I fucking loved that idea. Why can they not just go to the fucking Walmart an hour away, get some GoPros, cam some people up, and play hide and go seek? Like do rounds of hide and go seek with different hosts. Maybe the different shows can play hide and go seek with each other. Because obviously they can't get like 20 fucking cameras, right, for everyone to play at once. But they could have like donos to have people go play hide and seek. Like, hey, I want to see this person, and this person go play hide and go seek. Or go play fucking tag. Or water polo. Swimming. Races. There's a field. There's a fire pit. There's a kitchen. There is a gym. Why are they jumping in the lake for 100 members? Whew, anyway, you see what I mean? I have no patience at all left for this shit because it is just shit. Anyway, next goal, they want $100 to get Abby, the medic, this person that nobody fucking knows about. Billy didn't even know who Abby was, by the way. Abby is a host of a show. I didn't know who Abby was when I wrote this. My note literally says $100 and Abby goes in the lake. The medic? Is she on a show? Xylee says she's gonna donate to do it. Like, I literally don't know what's happening. And Billy describes this when they met. Billy was like, "Oh, hey, are you here for the fan day? Because they had a day where some of their biggest like pay pigs came and hung out, right?" And Abby was like, "Oh no, I'm a host on a show." And Billy was like, "Oh, which show?" Okay, so I don't feel bad at all for not knowing who the fuck that was. And obviously no one donates because nobody knows who that is. Nobody cares. And also, Xylee said she was gonna do it. She does not until like later. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it," and then like doesn't happen. Doesn't come in until like 30 minutes later because she didn't actually do it. Oh, Steak also says there's no fucking snakes. So now we have Steak, the main showrunner on the main show, and Tech, the or the showrunner on the second main show or the third main show, however you want to look at it, have both said that there's no snakes. None. So last year at Fat Camp, when they would not go to Snake Island and would not put someone on Snake Island to go overnight, and when they wouldn't get back in the fucking lake, it was all bullshit. It was just because they didn't want to. That's why. That's the only reason why. We could have had a sleep stream overnight on Snake Island. And they didn't do it. That's one of the only things anyone fucking wanted. And they didn't do it. They're just lied. There's no snakes. There might be some snakes somewhere, but it's not like they were saying, dude, they were going on and on and on about how there was like hundreds of snakes everywhere, swimming in the water constantly. I don't know, dude. It's so fucked. And then here's another really weird point to look at in hindsight now, actually. At this point, Keem opens the door and yells at Glammy for being too quiet. And I wrote, does he think that she has lolcow potential? And how much of all this was fucking planned? How much of it? Anyway, Keem apparently also called around the area to tell the food places to refuse Turbo's service. It reminded me of that one episode of Viva La Bam where they try to get Phil to not eat for a full day. Xylee donates $2 at this point just to make sure that the donos are working. Just to make sure they're working. Because I haven't gotten a single one in so long. And I wrote my note. I'm so sure I was right because there was so many donos last year at this couch. And not even the wings situation aside, I feel like before that too. before the wing situation, which was apparently the thing that made Fat Camp as profitable as it was the first time, it it's just been so fucking dry. Anyway, Fupa shows up finally. It took so long to get ready, right? But she's just wearing sunglasses anyway. So what the fuck? Anyway, Glammy says Fupa is actually ugly like as fuck. So Fupa shoots Glammy with the BB gun. And I wrote, this just really feels like the easiest way for her to speak up randomly is just to insult another woman. And she wants to sit there and call other people pick-me's. Anyway, I feel like there, as soon as Fupa showed up, there was more donos coming in. There was. Even if it was just to be like, oh, you're ugly, take the makeup off, It's still just saying, just fucking saying. Anyway, they have another dono for Glammy to go in the lake, and no one donates. So Keem opens the door and says, okay, 300 members for Glammy to just go home. And am I tempted? Kind of. But only because I feel a responsibility to watch this shit. And I have to be here because I have an obligation. So why the fuck would anyone else ever donate? But, big shocker. They get 0 members. Nobody gives a fuck. And also, why the fuck would I donate? No, I don't care. It was just like a passing thought that I thought would be funny. Anyway, Steak dumps a cup of water on Fupa. Yay. Oh, okay, right. So, now this is something that I'm really curious to know your guys' thoughts about. I really want to know, does this do anything for your viewership? Because, uh, at this point in time, they were, like, frequently, like, turning off members only chat to, like, let the grays free. And they would turn it on and off and on and off and on and off again, like several times. And I was just wondering, like, does that do anything to like boost the numbers temporarily? Does that do something? Or they then I was just like, well, are they struggling that bad that they have to like manipulate the fucking algorithm or whatever to try to get more viewers to come in by turning off members only and turning it back on again? Like, because they would turn it off for like 20 minutes, and then I would look back at the chat and it would be turned back on again. So it was just kind of odd. I definitely noticed that. It felt odd. But yeah, when I did notice, I was able to throw some rocks. So, in Minecraft, obviously, I'm not throwing real fucking rocks. So then we get like a good 20, 30 minutes of just straight up nothing happening. Nothing happens. So Keem comes back out because he's apparently having to save the show and drives around on the scooter and pops more wheelies, which I at first thought was impressive, the wheelie popping, until I noticed that there's 2 tiny little, like, wheels on the back of it to keep it from tipping fully backward, or to help stop it from doing that anyway. So then I was like, oh, you guys suck. You guys just suck. You're not actually doing anything. Also, why is all of the content just about this goddamn scooter? What would they be doing if they didn't have this scooter to be driving around in? Would it really just be jumping in the lake and sitting at the fucking the couch and the coffee table doing nothing? If they didn't have the scooter? Yeah, and then it's at this point that they switch from the single letter to the full name for donos, for 20s specifically. And I said, this is pathetic. No wonder no one's donating. They know the goal will change and maybe they'll get a better one anyway. Yeah, and then, at this point I wrote there was no members for Glammy to go home either, and it really makes me wonder if the initial members that came in were just trying to get people going, to think that this is like this just to get people going, get them on the bandwagon, kind of like open the door for them to also feel okay to donate. Yeah, then apparently they let the grays go again and the chat's still slow as fuck. Oh, yeah, then at this point, Keem opens the door and says $100, and someone with an M name is going swimming. I don't know what he said. I don't know who it was. I listened to it a couple times and I still did not know what he said or who he was referring to. Regardless, no one donates. Anyway, yep, here's my note. Abby is apparently a host. All right, and then at this point, this is like hours into the show. Tina finally shows up. Where the fuck is Tina for a lot of this shit, by the way? Why I thought Tina was like a main person, and she is just like never in the theater room, never like on these main shows. She showed up late as fuck, hours late to this show, and then once she did show up, she just sat there and did nothing for the longest time. Just sat there and smoked fucking cigarettes and ate food and was silent. But just keep in mind, it's her and her little butt buddy Gidgy who want to fucking talk about other people not pulling their weight. Right, so they didn't get the hundo to get Abby to jump into the lake, right? So they change it to have Albert come in and toss her into the lake. And I do believe they get that 100. And oh my god, it was really so they hit the goal, right? So then they go to fucking do it. Albert and Abby are at the dock at the end, and Albert just gently pushes her in, and the camera fucking turns at the same moment so that we didn't even see it as she went in. So they have to redo it, and then it's still lame as fuck. Yeah, and then Tina finally says something. She rightfully says about how comments about how this sucks. This shit sucks, dude. No one wants to see this shit. She's right. And then I'm just like, oh, is that why she's just sitting here and not trying at all? Because this shit sucks anyway? Yeah, then I wrote, Jesus fucking Christ. It dried up really fast after starting. People just left. People left, and the rest of these people either don't talk or they suck the energy out of the room like fucking Kalo. Get Kalo out of here, dude. He's not funny. I don't want to hear him. And this is the same motherfucker that's always in the goddamn theater room. Why is he everywhere? Why is he everywhere? He's not funny. He barely says anything. Whenever he does say something, it's like, oh my god. It sucks the energy out of the room. But yeah, they're at this point, they're still just turning on and off, members only, on and off, on and off, on and off, in the chat, that is, right? And here's my note. Does that do something to get more people into the show? And it happened right after Kim came out and was like, Albert and Johnny, parenthesis, who? Are gonna go into the lake and they're not coming out until they find a snake. And then, so a ton of us in the chat were like, do something first and then you'll get money. Because what the fuck? Do something. They just keep setting goals that they don't meet, changing them. And then if they did meet the goal, like the Albert pushing whoever in the lake thing, it's lame. It's fucking lame. God, and I'm not the only one who said that in the chat. It was like me and everyone else. Everyone else was saying like very similarly phrased things like that. Like, stop begging, do the content first, and then maybe people will want to give you some fucking tips for it. Yeah, so at this point, I feel like they switched off the grays. Like, I feel like for good, because I know they don't like it when people say to don't donate, but that's not what people were saying. That's not even what I was saying. I was saying do the content first. At me and everyone else in the Grays, do the content first, and then maybe people will want to donate. But the formula is literally just sitting there doing nothing, talking about nothing, and waiting for TTS to tell them to do something. Oh, oh my god. And then I don't know when this comes up, but later it's just relevant to this. At some point, it's like also, by the way, there's like like the same one and two to three people who are donating from pretty much this point on. And the one person is like, hey, I want 20 jumping jacks from all the bigger people. Does it happen? No. So they send another dono again, I think. They want 20 more jumping jacks, and someone finally fucking notices, which I think it's Steak. And it's only like Kalo who does like 10 jumping jacks. Because Steak is like, or Kalo asks like how many? Steak's like, I don't know, 10 or whatever. I don't know. So it's like they're getting donos for that kind of shit, and then they don't do it anyway. They don't. Oh no, yeah, it is come up soon. It does come up soon. It says, "Wait, someone donated forever ago asking for 20 jumps, and I don't think they did it. They just got another 20 asking for 40 jumps, and literally no one moves. No one's moving. Steak has to yell at them." And then he was like, "Oh, I don't know about the 10 thing, right?" And then Boogie, Billy, and Turbo don't even fucking get up. And, like, I understand that they cannot actually do a full ass jumping jack. I'm not asking for that. You know what Boogie did last year was like a barely half jumping jack where he's mostly just moving his arms. So do that. Do what you can do. These people, like, I cannot stand like how they're so frustrated and begging for money and upset, even though when they do get the donos, they don't do it. Yeah, my note at this point is literally, this is a fucking joke. This is a joke. And then who are these people just sitting in the back? Because there's a bunch of chairs like behind the couches, because obviously there's not enough seats for like everyone on the main couches. So there's a bunch of chairs lined up behind the couches where people are sitting. And they never say anything. Why are all these fucking people here if they're not saying anything, not doing anything? They're just sitting there on their goddamn phone. Once again, they get 0 members for the goal for the snake hunting thing. And then I don't think they even set another goal after that for a while. Oh, and you know what? I don't think I actually wrote this, but there was members at some point saying like, "I saw 3 people request you to set a goal and you just haven't." Like, even with members on, nobody was happy. Nobody was having fun. And I don't understand why they won't just fucking do anything. Why? Why do they, like, do they really fucking need a dono to start off the show doing something like they did last year? Yeah, no, next note. Why do people come out here just to sit and literally do nothing? Like, since Tina came out here, she hasn't done a damn thing and has just been eating. Like, even all these other people who are usually there and don't say anything, like Abby and Kalo and all these fucking assholes. Even Tina comes out and is just sitting and doing nothing now. But now I do wonder, it's like, is Tina, like, also upset about this? And that's why? Is this, like, her form of protest, so to speak? Yeah, you know what? It might be, because I feel like I'm actually, now that I sit here and give it a thought, I feel like Tina has had this pattern of she's been silent, looking like she's pissy. She's clearly got a problem, right? And so and then as soon as someone asks her, she says something that's fucking valid. Like Glammy being fake, like this sucking. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe Tina's like silence and like not doing anything is like her kind of form of protest, because she brings up that dog story later, right? About Phantom hitting her dog, even though it was literally just like people need to fucking train their goddamn dogs and not just have them running around the property freely, because that's fucking dangerous, especially if there's supposedly a bunch of venomous snakes everywhere. But you're just gonna let your dogs run around free range on the property. That's what Tina said. Like, Rudder is just running around freely fucking everywhere. And I do see that a lot. No one's watching this goddamn dog, like, ever. So, yeah, Phantom is working, trying to get cords or something from one place to another, doing all the fucking work with Grim, as per usual, while nobody else fucking does anything. And he's driving, and the dogs are, like, playing, and apparently the dog, like, ran into the side of his, like, what is it? What are they? Probably got, like, fucking side-by-sides, right? And the dog's, like, back end hit the back end of the uh thing. Like, it's literally like they ran next to each other and the dog's butt like bumped into the fucking cart. That's what it sounds like. And the dog is totally fine, 100% fine, playing, looking cute, doing whatever, being a dog. It's literally a non-issue. It's not a non-issue because these people need to keep a fucking like lead on their dogs. Why don't you give a fuck about your dogs that you're just letting them whatever? I really disagree that it's Phantom's fault at all. And they argue about it for a while. And Tina finally gets frustrated and just goes, "It's just content." Like, okay, way to just fucking out it then. But it's like, I kind of get her frustration too, because nothing else is happening. It feels like that's all they have at the moment to work with. So that's why Tina tried to make it into a big fucking drama, even though it obviously isn't, and it's her and Keem's fault for not watching their fucking dogs. God, and they're like fully untrained, by the way, as well. They're like fully fucking untrained. No recall. They don't listen. Nothing, dude. It's really fucking pathetic. I do not want to hear anything. If something bad happens to them, that is on their owners. 100%. Nobody else. And again, it either shows like the irresponsibility of it all if there really is like hundreds of fucking venomous poisonous snakes everywhere that they're just letting their dogs run around freely in it, or there's just no fucking snakes and they're lying, and that's part of why. And but they're lying about there being snakes, and that's part of the reason why they couldn't do content last year. So either fucking way, it's ass. Anyway, Boogie flies a kite on the scooter, as then Tina implies that Glammy is being chicken shit for, like, not being out there at the time. But, oh, I'm sorry. You and Gidgey are the ones who didn't show up until after Glammy left. And Gidgey didn't show up until, like, 4 fucking hours into it, by the way. Anyway, I don't think Gidgey's shown up yet. It's just relevant, right? Boogie's driving around on the cart with the kite, and the camera is just stuck on the fucking couch. Boogie is riding around on the scooter, flying a kite. No donation prompted. He's just doing it to try anything, right? And the camera is just on the couch. Why are we watching them sit on the couch? And then they seriously try to fucking argue with Boogie that no one wants to see him fly the kite because it's nothing. And that's why no one's getting up to flip the camera around. Like, I'm sorry. Are you being so fucking for real with me right now? You are arguing with this man, telling him no one wants to see his quote nothing content when he's trying to do anything. But okay, we're fine to just watch you guys do nothing on the couch instead. So yeah, they flip the camera around. Boogie pops a wheelie, and it's like, yes, again, this sucks, but it's better than watching these losers just smoke on the couch and do nothing, dude. It is. At least watching someone ride around on the goddamn scooter is still better than watching them do nothing on the couch. But anyway, Steak had left at some point, right? Like, people, like, there's barely anyone, like, compared to as many, you guys will have seen, right, a photo of at the beginning with all the people there, well, most of the people there, and how few people there is now. But anyway, Steak came back. He was gone for a little bit. He was informed that he also had a donation come in for those jumping jacks. And what does he do? He does like 4 of them, and then some half-assed, like, dancing themed ones. And it only was like 6. And I wrote, these people fucking suck. Where is Keem? Where is the literal boss? Because the Steak is the showrunner, the main showrunner for their flagship fucking show, and he won't even fulfill the dono requests, which is apparently your entire goddamn backbone of everything? No wonder no one wants to donate. You won't even do what they're donating for. Oh my god. And then, like, while Boogie is still, like, out on the scooter, why do they keep turning the camera back around to the couch? No one wants to see them sitting there anymore. No one. Why do they keep turning the camera back around? Stop turning it back around. There's nothing happening on the couch that we need to see. Nothing. Why are people shitting on Phantom for being with Fupa all the time? They were just saying the whole time, like, it's Phantom and Grim who have been running around and doing shit the whole time. So why are they also, like, trying to turn around and shit on him for what? It just feels very contrived. It feels like it's just forced and they're only doing it because they literally have nothing else to talk about. So anyway, that's when the whole story about the dogs thing happened. Like, Tina brings it up and they have to go try to look for Phantom, but shocker, Phantom's fucking busy. He's gone. He's looking for another cord so that he can try to fix the TTS, which doesn't really matter because there's no TTS anyway. Yeah, I forget who said it, but someone said, quote, "Hold your TTS, we're looking for the cord." There's no TTS coming in anyway, because they never set a new goal and they're not doing anything. Oh yeah, here's fucking Gidgey, by the way. 4 hours in. 4 hours in. Here comes Gidgey, and Gidgey's like, quote, "Y'all have been in the theater room. You know who's participating in fat camp and who's not. None of you are doing a goddamn thing. Nothing. None of you have participated in shit." The fuck? Anyway, Tina asks Fupa about Glammy talking shit. I think what she said was, "Fupa, why did you let Glammy talk shit to you?" And Fupa, I think that's what she said. It might not have been. Fupa goes, "I don't know. I just don't like that bitch." And someone else pipes in and says, "Because Fupa got her own pizza." What the fuck does that have to do with anything? And also, so what? Are you jealous? Go get your own fucking food then also. Why do they have I don't know. And then after that, Gigi looks at the camera like, yikes, oh my god. Like, you guys are such jealous ass fucking bitches, and it's so fucking obvious what's going on around here, dude. It's so painfully obvious. Like, I'm so sorry that you never had a man actually fucking like you. I'm so sorry. Like, again, there is so many reasons. There is so many valid fucking reasons to not like Fupa. But they pick the most fake ass, like, bitchiest, jealous, envious fucking reasons ever to not like her. And that's what really that's what they're so obvious. It's so cringy. Please fucking stop, Gigi, please. Anyway, there's a $10 TTS sale. Yay, so everyone get your $10 TTSs in. Yeah, let's go. No, do some content. Oh my god. Oh, then Gidgey says to Brantley, "Can you come out here and walk in front of the camera? These boys deserve it." Bitch, what? What the fuck are you on about? Like, why is she like so impossibly fucking weird? Anyway, at this point, Boogie acknowledges that they're fully fucking cooked because they're not getting any super chats. There's a TTS sale and they're still not getting any super chats. Like, and honestly, I'm glad that someone finally fucking acknowledged it. And of course it has to be Boogie, because Boogie is the one who really apparently like cares about this kind of thing, and it really gets to him because it is like directly connected to his self-esteem. And I do believe that he does genuinely get upset about shit like that because, I mean, it is literally his money, his paycheck. So, you know, and of course, the ego. Gotta save that ego. Anyway, Snake comes back and says that there's a secret meeting between Xylee and Billy right now. But anyway, Boogie says that some people came not to work, but to take a vacation. Gee, shocker. And he starts yelling about how people need to get out there and contribute to the show. Like he's saying, like, everything was paid. Like, if you're sleeping for free, if you're drinking for free, if you're doing whatever for free, then you better get your ass out here and work. And I don't know if it's at this point that it gets brought up, but it gets brought up that Tech Protect is basically just treating this day like a day off. And then Gigi, like, seriously says some shit about, like, how the people who aren't participating, like, they know who they are. And the people who are participating, like, also know who they are. Like, you were 4 fucking hours late. 4 hours late! And she was regularly late to her own shows as well. The fuck, bitch? But yeah, and then I feel like I already brought up the dog thing, but it keeps getting brought up. Um, Phantom's like out there now, and Tina tells his story about like what happened, like basically what I just said earlier. And Phantom doesn't even disagree with Tina's stupid ass story about the dogs, and it's just, how about we train our fucking dogs? How about we do that? If you get a dog, you're supposed to take care of it. That becomes your responsibility. Wow, you're supposed to train them because it's for safety. Right, and even at this point, my note literally says, I think at this point, I really just have zero patience anymore, as well as this pathetic shit trying to be passed off as content is so dumb. And then Nightmare calls like everyone out for apparently also driving like a fucking idiot. Okay, so on one hand, we've got people who like knowingly have gotten animals, have gotten dogs, and did zero effort to train them at all. So they just let them run around rampant with no supervision. And then on the other hand, we've got like 30 fucking assholes driving around like dickheads. Gee, that is just so incredibly irresponsible. Like if they're not lying about the deadly ass snakes everywhere. God, can also Rudder is like a border collie. It is not hard to train those dogs. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like lock in. Someone please lock the fuck in. I feel like a fucking 5-year-old could train a goddamn border collie. But you know what it probably is? Is it's such a high energy dog and it takes so much work that people just don't want to fucking do it. They choose laziness. They choose laziness over their own animal that they chose to get. And it makes me really fucking sad because it only makes Rudder's life fucking worse too because he's not properly exercised, stimulated, trained, anything. So he's just a bundle of fucking energy all the time and he has no proper outlets. That is not good for him. It's not good for him. It's not good for the people who actually own him. The fuck? So yeah, I don't know. Way to fucking out yourselves for being like next. Boogie mentions again how it's embarrassing that there are so many people here and no one can do anything. And it really is. And it feels like this contention is definitely like rising with some of the people there, but definitely not others. Like others just don't fucking care. But anyway, moving on, they get 2 reds to get Phantom and Fupa in the water because they're like, oh, Phantom needs to be punished, and then Fupa just gets dragged into it because they really just like the fucking hate Fupa just because she's being treated well by a man, apparently. Like, it feels like a mixture of that and almost just a little bit like they're scapegoating her. But then again, it also could just be because she's like new and she immediately got one of the biggest shows with a cow on it. So maybe it's more like hazing. Regardless, it's fucking weird. But yeah, then though I wrote at the same time, I do not fucking understand why she is taking so fucking long every goddamn day to get ready for this shit and why she doesn't want to get her head in the goddamn water. She's being lame as fuck too. Like, girl, and I wrote, this is my note, word for word. She's being lame as fuck too, like, girl, your fucking makeup sucks. I know I haven't said anything because I didn't want to be unnecessarily mean, but her makeup is just not good. And it was like $300 in 3 different donos. And then I wrote, like, also on the third hand, what's the big fucking deal with getting them in the water? It's just a lake. It's just water. People jump off of docks all the time for fun. What's the big deal? But yeah, so Phantom actually jumps in. Fupa just like sits down at the edge of the dock and slides into the water just like she did with the fucking pool. And that's what I mean. Girl, stop being fucking lame. Anyway, back on the porch, Boogie finally continued his rant about people not working. Oh yeah, this is where he mentions tech, saying that Fupa wanted to do their show, but he hasn't been like anywhere to be seen, unless it was just like the first 5 minutes of the show that day. And he does kind of try to bring up Grim into it because Grim's not there at the moment, but Grim has been like every single person there has all said about like how much Grim has been like pretty much the fucking backbone of everything, more so than Phantom. So I do feel like Grim did deserve that day. There's no reason for him to be here anyway, except for maybe to actually move the fucking camera. Oh, this is so funny. Here's this note. This is the best note, maybe. So with the Fupa slash Phantom thing, I guess nobody here has ever actually been in a normal and loving relationship. And then I realized exactly how silly I am for expecting any kind of reasonableness from them in the first place, like as I wrote that. Like, as I wrote that, I was like, "Oh, wait, yeah, that makes sense." So, yeah, they get Fupa back out, and they do dump a whole like, a full bucket of water over the dome, and they all comment about how it like, even just that, it makes her immediately better than ALR. So, that kind of made me feel like maybe this is, like, a hazing thing. Maybe this is, uh like her cult initiation, basically. She has to be humiliated enough before she's allowed into the cult. Alright, and then I guess they made chili again? I'm so sure they had chili at the last Fat Camp, and that one was also spicy as hell, and this was like a repeat of that. I was getting like deja fucking vu, because the chili's done, and it's super spicy, and everyone's commenting about how spicy it is, slash, oh, I love this, slash, oh, this isn't spicy at all. You know, the usual takes. But Steak and Brantley argue back and forth about the chili being too spicy, and Brantley's the one who made it, by the way. And it's just like, I'm sorry, dude, but either like you can either grow the fuck up or cook for yourself. Shut the hell up. Do not complain about food that you get to eat that you put absolutely zero effort into, especially from a man. I just don't want to hear it. Right, and then while people are, eating, and to be fair, like I don't really expect them to be like doing too much while they're eating. You know, they've been live for a long time. And if they had been doing content, it's like, oh, I would be totally fine. Like, they get a little food break, whatever. Not every moment can be exciting, but hardly any of this has been exciting. Anyway, Keem starts dicking around in the scooter again and almost trips like fully backwards in it while going up a hill. And I'm just sitting here again, like, why is Keem providing most of the entertainment? And also, what the fuck would they be doing if they didn't have this scooter? So anyway, at 5 hour 20 minutes, Keem announces that they are going to take a break, like an hour or two break. I wonder if they had like a meeting. Because I didn't think that there was supposed to be a break based on what I was seeing chat say before it ended. So I wonder if everything was just going so bad for so long that Keem was like, you know what, we gotta cut it. We gotta like regroup. We gotta think of something. I don't know. And you know what? As I say that, and as other things, like as I've gone through this, again, with the context that I have about the Billy and Glammy situation, and just these couple things here and there that are like really odd in hindsight, I am wondering if, I'm wondering if to a certain extent it's scripted, but only to the point of Keem pressuring Glammy to be more entertaining. So I wonder if Glammy, under that stress of maybe, because Glammy has apparently been on like 12 different shows, and she's just sucked through all of them, right? And I wonder if Keem is finally starting to get the hint that she sucks and she's not gonna end up turning into a good host or anything like that. So I wonder if Glammy, under that pressure and knowing all this, also has resorted to other means to get herself to be more entertaining. You know what I'm trying to say? And I don't know this woman at all. I don't know this woman like at all. I just pretty much from what I've seen in on Queens and this and Pitt, right? The last few days essentially. And I just, it's a kind of like Amberlynn. Once you've met an Amberlynn, you know all the Amberlynns. I feel like I have met Glammy 100 times before. At least 100 times before. And I kind of wonder if this is if this isn't that. If it's that, maybe with a mixture of midlife crisis also, with maybe the marriage isn't going as well as she wanted, who knows? It could be a lot of other things. Just like a perfect storm of bullshit that maybe made her reconsider some previous choices to not do certain substances. But maybe she feels like that's what she needs in order to be entertaining. Here's my other thought for that is because during this show, like I said earlier, Keem opened the door at one point and yelled at her for not for not saying enough, for not speaking up enough, right? Essentially for not doing enough. And then, because she was there for the first half of the show for a while, right? But then she disappears for a long time. And I believe does not come back until the next part of the stream. Because, obviously Tina was like, "Where's Glammy?" Like, she left. I think after, and like maybe not getting the 100 to go into the lake and not getting the members to even be sent home. Like, zero for either of those things. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think I'm onto something or do you think I'm just fucking reaching? I feel like all these things are maybe adding up a bit. And even if they're not adding up to what I'm thinking, they're definitely adding up to something. God damn. And that is like officially the end of the first half of the stream. I mean, I know y'all like long videos, but I hope y'all are enjoying the animations as much as like I am too. Animations I feel like are very loose. But yeah, they're definitely fun. They're definitely fun to put together, and I think I'll keep doing it for other things as well. It just depends. We'll see. All right, anyway. So moving on, right, to the next part of the stream. I believe this was like right about 3 hours, but they're at the same table again. And I wrote the only good thing about this like set basically is Keem being able to pop out of the door to troll them. But this time it's pretty much only to set new goals, not even to be funny. Okay, you know what? I'm really starting to lean on my theory now that I just mentioned with Glammy, because if they did have like a little meeting and Glammy was chastised for not bringing it enough and she was gone for so long, maybe she was off doing something to make her performance better. You know what I'm trying to say? Because she comes out, knocks over Nightmare's beer. I think she's at some point also smacks the lit cigarette out of his mouth or hand and then forces her way onto the main couch and sits on like the back of it, like right behind Steak and I think it's Boogie, Nightmare, and Steak on the main couch and sits behind it. And they, they're all like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" Right? They're talking shit. So Glammy tries to open a new beer and dump it on Nightmare, but he's way stronger than her, right? So he just holds her hand back while Steak tries to get in between them, and Nightmare is able to dump half of that beer on Glammy instead. And this is all right at the start, right? So I'm just thinking, like, it's making me feel like, oh, she was definitely coached, and this is all just for show. But then again, like, I do also believe that she's very drunk and maybe something else at the same time. Oh, but anyway, the title of this one was called Keemstar's Cream Pies. So they're gonna do pies to the faces again with fucking whipped cream. Like, can we please stop? Is this not tired and old as fuck? And then not only do they have like pies, they have a ton of condiments on the table, and I'm just, can we stop? Can we stop with this like borderline fetish content, please? Right, so then Wonder Woman comes out and starts trying to, like, tussle with Glammy. And Wonder Woman just straight up rips her fucking neck brace off. And Glammy is literally smiling about it until a certain point. Until a certain point. Steak and Nightmare break them up. And to be fair, I feel like it does look like they really went for it at a certain point because Glammy was like getting up on the table and like I'll throw up that picture of Glammy again. She had that look in her eye. Like she was smiling, like laughing about it until like something changed. Like something changed. Maybe she realized like Glam or Wonder Woman like wasn't fucking around. Maybe. And then she got mad at whoever it was for trying to hold her back. But it was something else. It's something else. Again, like look at that face and tell me that you don't think that that is like an unhinged person. Like they're about to make bad decisions, several of them. But anyway, yeah, It gets broken up, and Steak giggles because he was basically the only one who got beat up, and, like, like, I'm sure it does, like, hurt to get I'm sure it did hurt, but also, like, I don't know, he seems fine with it, and he is a military man, so I'm sure he's used to much worse is what my note was. It's still just like, I don't know, dude, like, we still just because it's from a woman doesn't mean we wanna, like, pass it off. You know what I mean? Anyway, they do get donos to get pied. Most of the people who, did get, like, a goal to be pied did get pied. I feel like they were only asking for $50 though, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. So that's, like, a lot more attainable, easier to hit, I guess, also. Right, but so they do that, and it is I cannot tell you how much of a fucking shit show this porch looked like afterwards, and I cannot imagine the amount of bugs, the animals it's gonna attract. I would be so fucking pissed if I was, like, the owner of this rental property. But anyway, they get to the point where they have, like, 1 pie left, right? So they have Glammy come out because it's gonna be for her, and she is fine. She is, like, back to her gangster act and doing that little head swing, like, the little, like, slow, like, figure 8 head swing thing again. Her neck is obviously fine. Oh, okay. Alright, this part was actually kind of funny. She's confronted about this, right? And she says, quote, "It's kinda like cancer, isn't it?" And to anyone who isn't aware, Boogie did lie about having cancer before, so this is actually not a horrible thing to say, and it's the first W I've ever seen for Glammy, even though she did do the stupid ass fucking, like, Miley Cyrus tongue thing with middle fingers after it. Eye roll. Literal fucking eye roll. But yeah, she gets pied, and then Mike gets 2 mayo pies. Wonder Woman gets 1 mayo pie. Everything is fucking nasty, and they set another goal for 100 members to get Glammy to clean it. I don't think they hit that, but I think they have her clean some of it anyway. Yeah, and then Keem comes and literally says that men can't cry about being hit by a woman. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up. And I said the only reason I kind of gave the pass to Steak is because we can, like, he was clearly wasn't bothered and had also been in the military. But again, like, I don't think we should just, like, be writing it off. And I wonder if this part of the live stream also doesn't seem more fun because now, like, everyone is, like, talking more and joking more. Maybe they're a little more, tipsy, maybe, because it does feel better than the first time. So I do have to really sit here and wonder, like, did they have a little meeting, have a talk? Turbo says, because at one point, this is like one of the funnier parts. Turbo says he'll eat anything they give him, like as in the pies, because he really just wanted to get pied at first so that he could have the whipped cream to eat in the pie crust. But then they were like, "Oh yeah, you'll eat anything, anything." So Steak gets up and presents his ass. Not actually. There's no cheeks. There's no cheeks were like, he just bent over in front of him basically. Oh yeah, this part. Abby comes and offers water to the crew. And Steak says, quote, she realizes she's in danger. And then I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, in terms of getting pied, or in terms of them maybe sending people home because of not participating and not helping enough? Because that's part of, if they had a meeting, I assume that would be part of what they talked about, right? Like, hey, if you don't start fucking pulling your weight, you're going to get your ass sent home. I wrote, spoiler alert, the addition of water to the situation where there was visible, like, large piles of mayo and whipped cream on the floor does not help. Also, a special note that this show is way fucking better in 1.85 times speed. It's just so we can skip all of the fucking stupid ass boring horse shit of nothing in the middle. Alright, so then Keem sets a goal to get Mike to drink since he's had a bad night, question mark. Like, okay. Seems like he did that last year, no problem, without donos, but whatever. Keem then comes out, he takes his hat off, and he gives himself a pie to the face. And I did have to say, like, okay, he does get a few points for that, because this man does not take his fucking hat off for anything. This man does not take his hat off for shit. and he didn't even get a dono to do it. So, gotta give him some flowers for that.
Tell her that. Fuck this show. Thought we were done with this portion.
This is for the Grays.
Oh, yeah!
But then, I'm pretty sure Rudder is his dog. And he immediately loses points because, as I've just talked about before, he just fucking lets his dog free roam, run around the entire property. Just, that's it. So, and he's not trained at all. So, this poor fucking dog is just roaming around, licking up half of this shit off the ground. And I just Googled it, so I know for a fact that a majority of it is not safe for him. They had fucking ketchup, they had mustard, they had chocolate sauce, they had chili sauce, they had mayo, which mayo is like not toxic, but still could cause an upset stomach. Same with the ketchup. Like, can we please stop? Like, get your fucking dog. And it goes on for way too long. This dog is able to eat way too much of this shit. Because, like, I write that, right? And then a few minutes later, I write again, oh my god, will someone please come get this damn dog? But yeah, anyway, someone asks, how much will it take for someone to roll around in the, like, actual piles of shit on the floor in front of Mike and Ultra? And they get a red, for Fupa, and Fupa says yes, and they all immediately, again, say this is why she's better than ALR, better than Amber. So, again, I'm just like, is this, like the hazing, the scapegoating, or the humiliation ritual, like, is that what this is? Is that why they're all, like, seemingly so focused on Fupa? And, but to Fupa's credit, she does do it. She does do it. And, granted, she's not able to, like, fully lay out flat and roll like that in it. It's kind of a small area. But she does get in there. She gets in there pretty good. And I think she gets fucking, what is it, ranch squirted on her head by a phantom. Because, like, I guess that also has to be part of the fucking humiliation ritual. Because I just can't fucking stand to see Phantom be so nice to her. For some reason. Anyway, little bit of time passes. Mike gets a dono for another shot. But then Glammy just, like, comes through, like, randomly, like, climbing across the back of the fucking couches, right? Ranching everyone. And by the time she gets to Billy, she's, like, standing up, and Billy pulls her down by her shirt, and she lands on the couch, which is fine. But I think her foot or her heel, like, slammed into the table that's behind them or something that a speaker is on, I think it was, and that's what made, like, the loud, like, crashing sound. I'm pretty, like, because she really just landed on the couch. I think it was her foot or her heel that, like, kicked the table or something behind her. But again, I'm really sorry last night because I'm sure this was like one of the biggest moments, and I'm sure y'all wanted to talk about it. And I was just like, the ranch, and like I just didn't even like see this moment fully for what it was until I looked back at the footage today. Because again, I was having my Long Island, I hit the doink while I'm watching, and I was also playing South Park Stick of Truth. So I might have been a little distracted, to be fair to me. But again, what I'm finding odd about the situation now with the hand and the neck situation, it's just that Glammy was smiling the whole time. She wasn't taking it seriously. But then again, she was smiling until a certain point with Wonder Woman. So, oh, and also, just judging by the way that she was like moving and the way that she fell, it really does seem to me that she is drunk. She is very much giving drunk. But also, I don't know if there is an addition of anything else. I do believe there may be. But yeah, like I said, I went back and I went like frame by frame because there was a moment where Tech kind of got in front of the camera and he was on the way for a minute. So we don't see all of what happened entirely, but I think we absolutely see enough that it's enough. And it's like, Billy, what the fuck? It's like, yes, I get it. Be upset, be mad. You know, I get like even the pulling her down from her shirt thing to get her from like walking on the pretty much like, because if he didn't, like, it seemed like she might even just fall on him, and no one wants that either. Uh, so it's like I get him pulling her down and at least making sure she lands on the couch, so that's fine. But then he clearly took it way too fucking far. Like, why are you doing that? She's not a threat to you. She's like, it doesn't take stuff like that to just like apprehend someone, you know? And you know what they say about the statistics about men who do that. And I'm just like, really? Like, what the fuck? Because I kind of liked Billy before that. And I think even later in my fucking like little docket here, because I didn't even like really catch that, I wrote like, where is it? Like, I can't find it right at this fic. I'm sure I'll get to it, but something about like how I had to give Billy props for a minute. So it really is just like, even last night during the live, I think I was saying something about like how, or y'all brought up something about how like some of the shows aren't that bad if you can like stay long enough to actually get to know like some of the people who are more likable. I'm so sorry. I probably totally butchered that. I usually like to say things exactly how they were said to me, but I just can't remember what the verbatim was. And I thought for me, like Billy was kind of one of those people that like maybe you might want to like stick around for, like even if Amber wasn't here anymore. But this is really fucked up. Especially just again knowing the stats about men who do that kind of a thing. But yeah, at this after that they're cleaning, everyone's trying to clean up all the shit, right? They move the couches over kind of. They're like bringing over big buckets of water to like, you know, like wash away all the shit and kind of get it off the porch. They don't do a good job at all. The shit's all over the couches as well. But my next note here, it says Steak actually pulled the couch with Billy on it, kind of back over to the center after like they were moving stuff, right? And he's still in like his fake ass Croc Yeezys. He's on a slippery surface because they were slipping and sliding, like trying not to fall through all this too. And he still manages to pull Billy on the couch over a few inches with one hand. And I was just like, God, I can only do so much. Tucks hair behind ear. Kicks feet. Oh, God. And this is like when I liked Billy too. Before I realized what happened, I wrote, and you could tell him from the look on Billy's face that made him feel dainty. And he was like, you know, like also like maybe kicking his feet. I don't know. But it's like, oh, like, Billy, why? Why? I wanted to like you. You were one of the more entertaining, funny people here. But it's like now ain't shit is funny. Oh yeah, no, see here's that one bit. Because I wrote, I did in fact notice how most of the people who were there just fucking dipped out when it was time to actually clean. And it was mostly like four people. Uh Brantley, Keem, Phantom, and Nightmare, and somewhat Glammy, cleaning the table and everything. Like, where's everyone else? Like, I get some people went to take showers, like the people who got pied, but it wasn't 20 fucking people who got pied. Let me tell you that shit. But yeah, this is where I was like trying to like give Billy some fucking props, and I'll read it anyway because it is what I wrote before I realized what happened. I said at least Billy stayed behind, and the fact that he was just sitting there, it wasn't. I don't think it's because he just didn't want to get up. I think it's because that floor it was really slippery, and he didn't want to like, you know, slip. Yeah. And then I wrote parenthesis, let me just glaze Billy real quick. This motherfucker funny will stick it out, knows set etiquette, and has decorum to not talk about his own cash and prizes. Let's fucking go. Well, let's fucking not go. Like, I take that shit back. I was gonna say nice shit about you. I no longer have nice shit to say about you. Apparently don't have enough fucking decorum to not. Never mind. God damn it. Anyway, Tech, like I said at one point, Tech was like got in the way of the camera, right? He looks absolutely fucking trashed, dude. He looks. I don't think I've ever seen a man look drunker, but still like walking around. Oh, and after the cleanup, Xylee and Boogie come back out to hang out as well. I think Steak is also back. He might have been helping with the cleanup, I can't remember. I did not remember seeing him much after the Glammy thing. Anyway, people were complaining about Glammy having been on all fours on top of the table to clean it because they saw too much, question mark. And I wrote, I personally didn't see anything, but maybe that's on me for not looking close enough, but I did notice that she was like on the table on all fours. But I did go back and review the footage later. But anyway, okay, yeah, and that's the point where, you know what, I was like, "You know what, I'm fucking over this shit, it's so stupid, I'm so fed up, I'm done," and I decided to go live on my own. I was live for a long time. Um, it was a fun time. It was a good time. You guys should check it out next time I go live in the middle of the night. We mostly just talk about nails, press on nails. We talk about Girl World too, but nails are my special interest, and it's more of like a hangout, chill type of thing. But I also did bitch quite a lot about this show and the fact that I have to watch it. So, yeah. I mean, let's be real, I don't have to, but this is what's happening right now. So, and right, I think they actually did get donos about the Glammy on the table and like showing too much situation. But I went back and reviewed the footage as well. Nothing really was shown. Like you can see down her shirt, but you don't see anything. And she's clearly like wearing a bra, and you don't see anything. And I don't think she did it on purpose either. She was just I think she's just under the influence and, you know. And then but then also like while reviewing that, her interactions with Brantley during that time are also like really odd, really odd. But yeah, you really didn't see anything. She didn't show anything. Boogie goes on again about how nobody brought any mushrooms to the camp. And he went about that last time too, and it's like, yeah, why didn't they bring any? That would have been a way more interesting time, no? And obviously, I mean like button mushrooms for cooking. But yeah, I was like, why didn't anyone bring anything? Like, if you are in a good headspace for that, then why not? I don't know. I feel like at this point I should go and watch the camping trip and compare and see how much better that was compared to this. Keem at some point comes out and tries to say that Boogie didn't do anything wrong. And I guess the chat or somewhere must have been like talking about it already. But I really disagree. I just watched it. But anyway, Boogie is apparently drunk off like one shot, and so is Mike apparently, even though he had like 28 shots last year or whatever the fuck he was trying to say. Uh Anyway, they get cut off. Keem cuts everyone off. Massive doubt. I feel like that's didn't happen. And they still have the bottle that Nightmare had from earlier anyway, so they're not really. Oh god. This part I it's really unfortunate because I was literally about to sit down with like a bowl of like Kraft mac and cheese. And Boogie crunches a beetle in his mouth and then spits it out. And I Anyway, Keem comes, he takes the bottle, he's trying to tell them to behave and sit down, and this is meant to be a fun stream, and they're just making us listen to noise or whatever. But Keem just keeps coming back to opening the door and saying we're being forced to listen to loud noises. And I'm just like, is that not what this has been the whole fucking time? Like, why are you coming out to ruin the good time? Like, this part, like, where they're just, like, drunk and, like, laughing and having fun together. I don't know if it's just because I was also drinking too, but it was one of the better parts because at least they're not all just sitting there saying nothing, talking about nothing. At least they're being goofy. But anyway, Keem ends it, and he comes out, like, he looks pissy. He looks really pissy about, like, right at the end when he ended it. He came out, he opened the door and was like, we're off air, or whatever. He looked mad. And I was just thinking, like, well, I mean, I guess they really just didn't make enough money. And this was, like, the first half of the stream was called the Stream of Redemption. And Keem was the one providing most of the content for the whole time. And at my last note here is maybe Keem just needs to accept that he needs to be part of the show. He's like half cow, half showrunner, I feel like. Because, like, I don't know, apparently Steak, your main showrunner, can't fucking do it. He won't even make sure people follow through with the TTS, which is your main source of content. So, like, I don't know. Like, something's gotta give, right? Otherwise, this is just gonna all, they're not gonna make enough money. No one's gonna get, because the way they described it, how everyone got paid, like, at the last fat camp, was essentially that fat camp had to pay for itself before anyone else starts essentially earning money. So that means that these shows have to earn like 50 to 70K before anyone starts getting paid. And then after that, the money they make after that, after everything is like paid for, quote unquote, it's like split up between them in some manner. I think Keem probably takes half, and then the rest of that is split up. But yeah, y'all, that was day 6. What are we thinking so far? Would it or would it not have been better with Amber there? That's a good question. Because with Amber there, I'm sure they would still just mostly be on the couches and shit, sitting. But maybe there'd be more fighting. Maybe there'd be more arguments, I guess. But then again, do I really want to see that either? I don't know. I guess I really just want to see them do really just anything but sitting at the table for like the vast majority of the show. And I am actually recalling too, because they were getting criticism for doing too much sitting at the last fat camp, and Keem was saying, well, at the camping trip they could do activities, go back to the fireplace, do activities, go back to the fireplace. Okay, so what was the problem with this show that you couldn't just do activities and go back to the couch, do activities and then go back to the couch? Because everyone was fucking here. You should have had. Where was the IRL camera? By the way, where was the fucking IRL camera? Because every time we had to see someone go jump into the lake, the camera would turn and we have to watch them walk far away past the fire pit and to the dock to jump into the lake. Why couldn't someone have followed them with the IRL camera so we can see them jump in close up? If we're actually just going to do that for content only. Where was the IRL camera for when the scooter was getting decorated? Why? Why can no one do anything? Why can no one do anything? Yeah, no, I feel like already last fat camp last year was better because they were like walking around a lot more and they would just bring TTS with them, you know? And they actually had, I think they had a cameraman who was Twiggy, right? So there was at least a fucking like cameraman. I don't know, y'all. Anyway, let's fucking hope it gets better just for my sake because I am sitting through it. Can it please just get better if not for any other reason than just that? Let me be selfish as fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna end it. I've been yapping for too fucking long. I'm gonna get this edited and out for members as soon as I can. I'm so sorry that it's been like not like members haven't been getting the video for like the full 24 hours like I prefer it, but you know, it's kind of hard to, it's just, I do these day by day, right? And I make the graphics like day by day as it happens. So it's a little bit more difficult, but I feel like I'm trying my best to keep up and just be like the day behind. And I feel like that's okay. Anyway, I will see y'all tomorrow.